Yo, what's up, Mark? Are you ready for this podcast?
What's good, bro? I am. What do you got for us, bro? What are we talking about today?
Oh man, the other day in our group chat, so I'm sure everybody has that Instagram group chat where it's just like exploding with memes. And one of these memes were actually related to LinkedIn. I will show it in a second, so I will share my screen. And it's basically a guy entering a room and it's like, hey, this is your experience on LinkedIn. And they're just like, you see that holy music, and then it's like that one guy is like, oh, here, these are the 10 things I learned about this. Then there's like a woman in the meme and just like, oh yeah, I'm humbled to accept my new job offer, this and this. And the other one is just a salesman. And it's just like, man, why am I even using this platform? And then that got me thinking, what are other communities that actually are underrepresented or even have a social network for itself? And yeah, so Mark, I want to talk to you about today about Doximity. So
Okay, so
Doximity,
by community you mean like job wise, right? Not, I don't know,
yes,
ethnicity or
exactly.
whatever. It's
So
just like job,
exactly for community in
because
this
it's like
case, I
white
would
collar, right? LinkedIn is like mostly white collar business stuff.
yeah, exactly. So for example, medics, etc. Do they have their own like LinkedIn or not? Because in the end, it's like, man, like, do they don't need job offers? Like, how do they actually get jobs? And then yeah, that's how I found Doximity, and Doximity has like 2 million members. It was founded in 2010, and yeah, actually in the US, it has a
Damn.
penetration of more than 80%. So 80% of them are actually using Doximity, which is crazy, or
80%
actually
of
members
whom?
of all medics, etc. So
Physicians,
nurses,
you mean? It's not
practitioners, yeah,
medics.
physicians, like so doctors,
Mhm.
nurses, practitioners, physician assistants, pharmacists, etc. So basically everything related to healthcare. Um,
Pharmacists or medical students?
no, pharmacists as well. So yeah,
Hmm,
so it's like a quite
that's
variety of
interesting.
it, and I thought it's like super interesting. It was like, why does it exist, right? And also the valuation is quite crazy because if you
I just had to think about it. It's like, right. I also like, why does this exist? And like, it's like hey, let's create a social media, like an Instagram just for
exactly
dogs.
exactly, or like us, we built like the Instagram for gamers, right? So we always like, there's always like,
We
why,
tried,
like,
yeah.
we tried, didn't work, but it's a different story. But it's like interesting to see because everybody has that idea. I mean, they started in 2010, so definitely had
Yeah.
a heads up, a head start. But it's quite interesting to see because they actually, it works. They have 2 million members, so 80% penetration rate, and they're worth 4 billion. So this is like the
Damn.
crazy part. So for 2 million members only, they're making like they're valued at 4 billion. So just to give you like a comparison, LinkedIn has is I mean they got bought by Microsoft, but the valuation if it would be calculated right now would be roughly 30 billion. And I think they have like 200 or 300 million members, something like this. So yeah. Oh, actually, it's 930 million members. That's just what I saw on LinkedIn with 200
Damn.
different
That's like
countries.
400
So
times more.
yeah, the numbers are crazy. But yeah, by the way, guys, let me just show you quickly. For those who are watching, you have to see this. All right, I am sharing my screen in a second. Share LinkedIn. The guy just creeping into LinkedIn. Hey, I want to join your network. Let's connect. I'm humble and honored to announce my new position. I was fired for the last job. I'm a recruiter with Doodle Dynamics talent. Can we connect about a role you've prepared for? And then just like 600 applications and didn't get a job. Our software solution is 10 times better than anybody else. Can we book a call? 5 reasons why you don't shower before work. Agree? Crypto's the future. Man, there's a lot of these. You appeared in 14 new searches. So it's quite interesting. And it's so cringe because it's so true. You look at it and you're like, man, the experience is so different. So like, Mark, what makes Doximity so different to LinkedIn? Please let me know. What
Well,
do we got there?
first of all, I mean, we talked already about the target audience, right? It's a very specific one, specific niche. So that means all the tools and what it provides is very specific in terms of it's not only about finding jobs, but they have other things. They have like key features. They offer other
Yeah.
services which are amazing. So it's not only a LinkedIn for well, for doctors or nurses, whatever,
Yeah.
that would be a little bit misleading and misrepresenting what they actually do, right? So they offer also like telemedicine solutions, right? There's a
Yeah.
they're basically a software company that offers telemedicine as well as connects into, with other
Well, the
companies
clinical
that
directory,
enables
right?
the exactly with the
Exactly.
clinical directory, which basically enables them to see all the patient's records,
Really nice. Yeah.
get the information out of them, and has some really really cool features which we can go into detail later. But that's a key difference. Basically, it's not
Like
just hey finding jobs, posting about something. It's about using it and connecting with the end user, the
what
clients.
I think is really, really nice also for Doximity is in general, the options for like physicians to call like um their patients. So basically with they have a function with the like you can dial video and voice calls. So basically what it does, you can call with your iPhone. So your physician, you call with your iPhone, and then at the same time it shows the number of your office. So it's like you don't get spam calls, but you can just clearly separate it, right? Because the biggest problem is like, hey, let's say you're a
Mm-hmm.
physician, but you're on the way or whatever, but you want to quick go have a call. So you first right now you do it out of the office because you don't want to have anybody you have to your private number because you in the end this is just is a business transaction in the end, right? So I think that is a probably super underrated feature because it's super cool.
And another cool thing is what I thought was fucking super amazing. Bro, the patients don't have to download any software. They just have their
Yeah,
phone, they have their number, whatever. So, which I think in other telemedicine solutions, they have this. And then you always have the chicken egg problem. And then when it comes to older people, that might not be very well with the new technology, etc. So, I find this is a great solution that offers them better access and why it's such a hard penetration to the market. 80% is huge. That's big. They basically own the market. They have a monopoly on it, which is crazy and super cool. In this, by the way, also the feature we were talking about was called dial video.
yeah.
So it's a face to face to no reply text messages, and they can just do that, which is super cool. Just use the cell phone number, and that's it. They also have something it's called dial voice. In a day, what it is, they integrate with the Epic's Haiku app.
Yep.
So first of all, what is Epic's Haiku app?
That's
So
a good
Epix
question,
is a
Mark.
company that created Haiku, which provides authorized clinical users access to the health records of patients. So
Yeah,
basically, a doctor can look at the health records that are online in a safe place, can go through them,
which
get
is
all
really
the patient
important.
lists, get the health summaries exactly, and then test results, which are all in there, and then take notes in there, and then from there directly call the patient, which makes it obviously much more convenient for the first of all the patient because he can get all the information. Second of all, obviously for the clinician. So the doctors have everything in one view, scroll through it, and directly call. This makes it the workflow much quicker and faster, and you don't have these issues of oh I forgot to do a task, etc., or you overworked because you can do all in one.
No, I really, really like it. So just to sum it up, Mark, the difference between LinkedIn and like Doximity. So LinkedIn basically general, everybody's using it. It's like basically right now, I don't want to say it, but it's like opening LinkedIn right now is most of the time not worth it because most of the notification is just spam. You're getting like, oh, I want to connect for this reason, so like it loses value because the network gets too big. It's like saying when your parents enter Facebook, right? Once they joined it, this network is out, right? So it has still its like from
100%.
my point of view, it still has its good points. Like for example, if you want to look for jobs or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
even then I would probably go to a different website to actually find jobs. But it's still good to maybe grow a following, etc. But if you're really like a specialist, like you work in like you're a doctor, etc., then it does definitely make sense just to go to Doximity, have the account there, especially because it has so
Well, it's
well
a
integrated.
service, right? It's something different.
Yes, exactly. But also, Mike, this brings me to the next question. Where do you think are other communities underrepresented, right? So
Wait,
digitally,
wait.
like you
Before we
have,
go there, I want to finish with Doximity.
yes.
Let's finish up with Doximity because I think that's a good question and super interesting. But there's a few things I want super interesting. They still have a fax service, so
Oh,
basically you
bro,
can have a like a
crazy.
mobile
Yeah.
electronic fax number where you can have it like send I don't know what hyper compliant faxes are, but you can send
Yeah.
them faxes It's crazy. Also, we didn't say that but also from the user side, there's a universal clinical directory. So it means
Yeah.
you can, I don't know, search for any US physician, nurse practitioner, and PAs directly. I think we have something similar here. It's like top doctors in Spain, where you can look for certain doctors. I don't know what specialty, and then you can book from there, which is super cool.
Also,
Just from the client side, right? We talk from the doctor side, but then from the patient side.
I think that's more important also with directory, not only from finding a doctor, but if you want to work together with somebody on a paper, etc., it's easier to find, right? Because like right now, how do you actually find somebody to work on or collaborate on a certain like maybe thesis or whatever? You can just go there because you have like top talent who actually active there, and then you can search there. So I think that makes it also way more valuable.
Interesting, but the question is, these are medical doctors, right? How many research papers are they going to write? Right? These are practicing. They're in the
Well, they
field,
are still, but
right?
right, it's very niche, but still it gives you a great opportunity to do so because in the end, it's like yes, it's all like medicals, medical doctors, etc. But still, there are few who still have to write a paper, etc. So let's say you're still studying to becoming a doctor, and you want to write your thesis on
Mm-hmm.
XYZ, and you're looking for a collaborator. Man, that's the way to go. So I completely, especially if it's across. Right now, you can do everything online, and then, for example, if your studies or whatever you want to do is very very niche, you will. It's easier to find somebody because you don't have to go just within your university, but you can do it across universities. So I think that is a great opportunity there.
I think that's super cool. I'm sure there's something for that as well. But also, all right, summarizing Lucas now. So I think it's a great step for the US, especially the healthcare,
Yeah.
because the US healthcare system is fucked. I think that is still something that is missing in Europe that I have not noticed. And then we're still, I think there's still ways to go. I mean, what I also saw user feedback was like, hey, it's easy for them to transfer patients because you obviously have the same record that you
Yeah.
can access through the Haiku access that they have the partnership with or whatever it is. So I think it's super cool, great tool. I mean, it's been around for 13 years, and I think it's only going to grow, especially on worldwide scale, because they said their all main focus is US, but they're going to go out there like other places as well.
Also, they are very profitable. So that's the thing. They have been profitable for many, many years. So that I think that's something that you can't underestimate because most of the like social networks they're not profitable for many, many years. Whereas that one, because each of their users has such a high value, they were profitable quite from the start because they also have subscription. So I think that's also something that really needs to be
I'm not
considered.
sure if I would call that a social network.
In the end, it is right because
I'm not sure.
it is a social network or platform. I mean, it has network effects right there, right? You have you literally
Oh,
have
okay,
so
because a
many.
network effect doesn't make it a social network.
True, but you connect with
Do
other
you?
physicians and it's a network. So yes. So I really believe that most of the value is created just by the members itself, right? Because in the end, it's all about connecting physicians with other physicians, and as well as the value it offers for its clients, right? Because it makes so much the process so much leaner and faster. I mean, you can just read, like you don't have to call with the phone, whatever. You can just use your mobile, and it just mimics the phone number of your office, etc. So I believe
Do you know
this
how they
makes it
make
very
the
nice.
money for the business model?
So business model wise, they have a subscription. So Doximity subscription,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course they have different models similar to LinkedIn. So for example, the premium subscription, annual subscription is 39 euros. And yeah, that's if you have
Yeah.
one license, right? That means the Dialer Pro, meaning you have one license, so you can basically have call with one phone. If you want to have two, you can do it with two. But in general, think about it, 240 euros for
Nice.
that one. So I think that's
That's pretty cool. That's a lot of money. Oof.
it is. It is. It's a lot of
That's
money.
it's really good.
But at the same time, if you think about it, divided by 12, you have like what, 12, 20 euros, something a little less than 20 euros. Well, 20 euros
Yeah.
actually, more or less, like 11.99 or something like this, um, each month. But for each phone, right, and for each mobile device that can just mimic the same number. So I think that's really really cool, and it just like makes it so much easier,
I mean, if
especially
you
with the
add a lot of value
fax.
to them, you can charge a lot. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, and that's why they also profit because
Oh
people are
yeah.
willing to pay for this. Like LinkedIn Premium. I mean, yeah, now more or less, but like still, I haven't used LinkedIn Premium once. So yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Lucas, you're lying. We have used it.
It
We have used it
two. We had
before.
once premium for free, and that's it. And then
Yeah.
never resubscribe for it. But yeah, that's it. I think yeah,
All
Mark.
right, bro. Let's come back to the other topic. You came back. You want to ask before. So we talked now Doximity, and it's super cool. Basically, a LinkedIn with additional features specifically for the doctor, medical nurse,
Specialized
etc. market.
exactly. LinkedIn specialized for
Specialized on
medics.
this.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what are we thinking? Is there an opportunity or is there a market space out there for other ones? I don't know. LinkedIn for plumbers. Do we think this exists?
Man, I
And
was
what would
thinking the
this look
same.
like?
I was like plumbers. I don't know why I was like thinking about plumbers, but it was just like,
Well, I know why.
yeah.
Because we
But
talked. Because
yeah, that's
yeah,
true. But at the
exactly.
same time, I don't think that's a thing because in the end, I'm not sure how plumbers, especially, is like how digital they are, right? Because in the end, it's all about the problem with medical, like doctors. You always have the patients, like you have patients, etc. So you have to reach out, and whether it's like a normal call or you can make that process easier.
Hmm.
With plumbers, it might be harder because in the end, it's like in the end, they always have to be physically there, right? You can and they
Yeah.
don't benefit from connecting with other plumbers. So I think from that point of view, that wouldn't work because in the end you have to see what would it help, like what would be other like professions that it would be worth reaching out to, right? So yeah, but it's a good point. I can't think about anything else right now because in the end you have, for example, for designers, etc. I think it's called Dribble, right?
Yeah, but that's different. It's
So
not a
yeah,
social network. It's just expiring, getting expired and stuff.
yes, exactly. But in
Inspiration's
the end,
there.
it's like it's because what we're talking about in general right now is about underrepresented communities. And when they build like not networks, but in general like communities, and that is one of them. Dribble, right? So
Hmm.
Dribble is for designers, creatives. Because in the end, is like as a designer, like you have like you can't show what you.
Podcasters.
Yes, podcasters might be a good one. That's one of the things. Questions though, what problems you would be solving them, or Mark, as also an interesting point because, like, for example, designers, what do they need to show? They need to show the designs, right? Right? Because on LinkedIn you can't. How are you gonna show your portfolio? That's why Dribble is
Well,
successful.
they have websites, but I think it's a little bit different because you don't need to connect with other people or have the services, right? They usually create your own website or use Dribble, put that on your
Yeah,
LinkedIn, and you're still
yeah, that's
hired
why
by
Dribble
business people,
exists.
right?
And then like on
Yeah,
the
I
other
know.
one,
In general,
okay, Mark,
yeah.
for podcasts is one thing, but what about people editing for podcasts, right? So, or for social media editors? Because I don't think there's a platform right now that exists that allows social media editing, or allows like a community where everybody can show what they have, right? Or what they can. Because it's a very visual medium, but at the same time, because like a network for a podcaster wouldn't make sense because like you book a podcaster, whereas you always need people for social media editing and then a platform where you can just show your portfolio how you did the cool edit.
All right. Quickly, my opinion on this. I think that all these things that we mentioned right now, except for doctors, is unnecessary. Just because, end of the day, these people will have to work with businesses together. These businesses are on LinkedIn. They're gonna find people on LinkedIn or on Twitter. Whatever you not have, like if you have an audience or you're a podcaster, you find them on Twitter or whatever. Or you go on, it's a freelance market, right? Or you go on whatever it's called, I don't know, Fiverr, right? So I think that's my opinion. I think at least in the bit anything that's related to business doesn't need it.
All
Doctors is
right,
a great one because they're all basically have their own company, right?
I I have to completely disagree with you because I really believe for shorts editors there is a market because in the end it's not for companies. It's just like for everybody. Like if you have you are an influencer, whatever, and the same with for Dribble. And if it's especially because it is based on freelancers job, it's a great opportunity for them because then it's just like you don't have to send out your own LinkedIn or you don't have to find on Twitter. You can just like people can because like it's hard to find some good editor, right? And then it's like easier if you can see the portfolio, especially you can compare them to other ones. So I say there's a great market opportunity there because like video is a new thing, like or not new thing, but it's like the next like everybody's moving towards it. So I mean, podcast right now we're capturing a podcast and it's with video. So
But then the question is, Lucas, how long would this opportunity be open because AI is advancing and thereby the cutting everything together will be more automized, right? It will be processed.
Yeah, but it's not only podcasts, right? It could be editing for anything, and then still you need the creativity of people. So I don't think the AI will take that out. There will always be the human feature. So for sure. But yeah, that's my opinion. Okay, Mark. So we
I know, but
agree to
always,
disagree.
but
All right, we agree to
bro, that's
disagree.
the best one.
Exactly. All right,
we agree on this was a good podcast. So everyone,
exactly.
thanks
You
for
know what to
sticking
do.
with us.
Give us 5 stars if you're still listening. Give us a review. Share it with the friends, and of course, catch you next one. Twins out. Bye,
All right,
guys.
Insider Twins out. Peace.